evening, everybody. Welcome to the live show. It is Tuesday evening. It's February 10th, and the market was a little mixed today. But, of course, we had some poppers at Lulu and a couple other ones, and we'll find out what else is popping tomorrow, and we'll see what we're going to find out what's going on. So here we go. All information presented here is for educational and informational purpose only. It's not intended as financial advice, so always do your due diligence. How is everybody this evening? I'll flip over to the old heat map here. Let's see. There you go. Oh, I didn't even set it up. I had it set up. I don't know what happened. But anyway, let me just do that real quick. And there we go. That'll make it work. All right, here we go, everybody. So here we are. And let's see what's going on. And I will just repost. I was going to repost it out real quick. And then you guys can check out what's going to happen here for tomorrow. So let's get rocking and rolling real quick and get seeing what's happening here. Ready? Here we go, everybody. So did everybody have a great day today? Like I said, that Lulu, it was a little bit of a choppy, crazy day, but Lulu was a beauty right there. Look at that. Remember what I was talking about Dell, too? Look at that one up over 4%. Not looking bad right there. So we'll pick out some good ones that want to get rolling. There's plenty of them setting up. We just got to see exactly what this market wants to do, what crypto's up to, and everything else. So, we'll go through it all right there. Laptop travel and everybody else. Bitcoin back at 69. It was down at 68 earlier, and it's just kind of bouncing around right now. Robinhood got destroyed on its earnings. That was way down. There you go. Well, Luis Rodriguez, I think we're on the same page right there. So, yeah, I'd say Robinhood right there, HOOD, definitely got beat up today, and that's way down there. So we'll take a look at it, a better look at it right there. You can see it a little bit better how beat up it got, and that's pulling back right there. So not so good. They missed their earnings or whatever happened, and yeah, that one dipping down in the after hours. So here we are, and let's see what the market looks like now that the market closed for today and what we're going to be getting into tomorrow. And I did mention, what did I mention right here? QCOM was looking really good right there. So we'll check that out later on. Let me know what you guys are looking at as well. And here we go. Lyft also got destroyed. Yeah, did it? Yeah, that got destroyed. Yeah, look at it. I remember looking at it. That took some big red candles straight down and went straight down. Where did Robinhood even end up? I didn't even look. I wasn't even paying attention. But yeah, there you go. Way down there. 79? I know Ben started shorting it down there as it was dipping down. So there you are with that. And let's see what else is going on. These crypto mining companies racing, climbing over one another to entice AI conversations. Yeah, well, all of them kind of not the mining companies, some of them crypto treasuries. How about some of them? Like all them companies, what is a list of them? Laptop travel, the ones that we had been looking at before, and that were all like kind of jumping up there as they all turned into crypto treasuries, not BM&R and like the real big ones, but some of the other guys. What were some of them? I forget. I'm trying to remember what some of them were, but there had been a bunch of them. I know that. And remember I was saying, I was like, I don't know if this is going to work out so well, but yeah, I don't know if that's going to work out so well. Again, it might still run. And, but yeah, it's an interesting one for sure. But I can't think of any of them. I'm trying to think of what they were, and I can't even think of any of them right now. But anyway, let's cruise on through. I was just gonna post out the show link right there, and then there we go, and then we'll get cruising right through. Hold on, there you go. I seem to can't do anything right there with my phone. I'm hitting all the buttons and nothing's working. All right, let's go. And A-Lab right there. Yeah, that one went pretty bad too in the after hours. Look at that bad boy. It actually initially spiked up and then it just went straight down there. Luis Rodriguez, we were looking at that. So there you go. How about the women's hockey team, USA hockey team, beating Canada 5-0 today? That was awesome. So the men's NHL, the men's US hockey team, I believe, plays Thursday around 3 p.m. Eastern. So you can double check that. I think that's when the game is. So in 2 days for the men's hockey, I believe. Somebody can double check that and let us know. But yeah, women's hockey, didn't even know that was a thing. Oh, it's huge, Luis Rodriguez. It's real big. Yeah, a lot of colleges have women's hockey and girls hockey, women's hockey, we'll call it. And yeah, some of them schools are really good. As a matter of fact, A kid I grew up with that I know pretty well. His daughter's on one of these girls teams around here. I think it's like the Hershey Bears team. I don't even know what it is. It's a traveling team. They're always traveling. That's mad expensive right there. Ice hockey's expensive. That's an expensive sport for sure. But his daughter is like really good. She's on like this crazy good travel team, and they were going to like Canada, I think, this weekend. And he's a pilot, as a matter of fact. And he just flies. He flies right to the games. And yeah, it's kind of crazy. But anyway, that's that. But yeah, the ice hockey for women is pretty big. Especially check out some of these college teams like Boston College and some of them ones up in the Northeast and stuff. They have really big women's college teams, ice hockey teams. So anyway, yeah, it's very popular, and I'm telling you, some of these girls are really good at it. Like I said, my buddy's daughter's not that old. I don't know what her age is. I'd have to say around 10 to 12, and she's really good. So there you are with that. So yeah, the women's hockey team, USA hockey team, beat Canada, which they're usually a pretty good squad, especially the men's team, but they beat the women's team 5-0 today. So that was a big one. So anyway, let's go through the market and see what we're gonna be beating tomorrow. So ONDS right here got beaten down, that's for sure. And it does look like it could dip some more. Now remember, every time it has one of these red days, basically, it could either have one more red pullback day and then try to bounce up, or it just bounces up. This looks like another red day right there. So that's what it looks like going into tomorrow. We'll kind of pick apart everything here. Galaxy at the moment is up just a hair, but I don't think that one looks that great either. And ASST, I meant to put ASTS, but I just typed this in somehow. And that was way down today. I remember they did a reverse split. That's why I kept on going with it. And that is way down right there. You know what else we haven't looked at in a while? Open Door. I took it off of there, and that one doesn't even look that great. It's trying to set up, but I don't think that's great. But anyway, just off the list, an ASTS right there. Whoa, that was down today, and then it was trying to bounce back off of that trend line right there at the end of the day. Let's take a look, but I don't think that even looks that great right there. You can see it up a little, but still doesn't look beautiful for ASTS. And let's continue right through, because UMAC was also down today. So a lot of these that ran on yesterday, I was going to say Friday, yesterday, they are pulling back today. So the market kind of swings around, and obviously it's a big rotation all the time. And that is UMAC now pulling back. And let's see, it looks like it'll get right back down into this area. And look at that setup happening, and this thing's way down there. So yeah, I don't think they're ready. They could still come down a little bit more. I was saying this before. Now you're seeing what I'm talking about, and it's exactly what's going on here. How about Redwire pulling back right there? And that one is dipping down as well. So, and how about your Rocket Lab? Some of these guys I thought would try to stay up, including Lunar right there was pulling back pretty big. That looked like it was going to go up some more today, and that obviously just pulled right back with the rest of them. Nuclear was down today, and NKLR, and that thing's got a crazy setup going on. But look at it. I mean, your 20 and 50 are actually meeting to come down. All of a sudden, it looks like it could curl down. We'll have to see what that does tomorrow right there, but that one could get pushed down right there for NKLR. Look at that crazy look right there, Laptop Travel. What's that called? A doji look? Or something, a doji candle or something like that. That's a crazy one right there to finish off with, and a red one if that. And it looks like it's going down, guys. So I'm going to say that that's actually going to pull back, and that had a good look yesterday. Oklo pulling back right there, and SMR also doing the same thing. So there's your what the heck are they called? Nuclear right there, and they are all pulling back at the moment. So that's interesting right there, because they looked really good going in yesterday into the night as well. And then they all pulled back there today. EOSE right here down as well. That's an energy one. Iron right here, that was down pretty good too. So all of these small cap ones were pulling back today, as you can see. And critical metals, that was following the pack, and that was going down. And again, they don't even look that great. You can see now that the 20s are crawling down. These could come back down into their trend line right there. You could see the entire market come back down. Well, at least these small caps. We'll see what the big caps and Mag 7 and Mega ones want to do and all them guys. But MP right here, that was pulling back as well. So all these bad boys pulling back a little bit, UAVS. So we'll look for them tomorrow and see if they're going to try to bounce back up. But at the moment, they don't look like it. RGTI looks like it wants to pull back and go down. And QUBT right there, that quantum computing one. Let's look at our quantum and computer hardware ones. That's pulling back right there. QBTS, that D-Wave's pulling back as well. And I'll just kind of skip around right here because they all look like they're pulling back. But somehow QMCO was up. And look at this thing. That could be a highlight for tomorrow. So out of all of them, I mean, so far, that one looks pretty decent right there. QTUM, that's the Defiance Quantum ETF. And that one kind of been running up like crazy a lot. QSI had been way down and bouncing up. And we'll see. It almost looks like it wants to roll back down off the MACD, but I can't promise you that. It doesn't give me an exact look right there. IONQ, this was trying to crawl up as well, and I don't know about that. So, yeah, these ones all look a little weird. The market looks weird still. I've been saying that. And RCAP pulling back. Aerospace and defense seem to be pulling back a little bit. And let's see, of course, our Z-Space right here was just bouncing around, nothing crazy. How about Lockheed Martin? That was down right there. Your Huntington Ingalls, that was down, and Northrop Grumman was down as well right there. So there goes your aerospace and defense pulling back at the moment. And let's see what else is going on over here with your USAR. That was pulling back, and that was down 6.66%. Look at that little devil. And so there you go with USAR and UAMY. Look at that. That's down as well. And look at that one. It was trying to pop up there today. It was up a little bit, and then it took a nice little dip. It was up at the beginning and then pulled back there for the rest of the day. And that's what most of them did today. And then your 4Us was also down. That had looked, I mean, look at that look yesterday. So you want to talk about fake out city right there. That's what you're talking about. It's pretty wild. Because, I mean, these things look like they were keeping some momentum, even though we're under the MACD. This is what I had been talking about, though. And again, these did look like they wanted to continue up. But remember what I was saying. I wasn't so positive that they were going to crawl up and get through the MACD. I mean, they didn't even crawl up, and maybe they will tomorrow. But again, they just kind of went right back down real quick, and the market is very volatile. It's jumping around. I know we have some kind of job something tomorrow, and then the jobless claims, and then, of course, the CPI is on Friday. So the next 3 days, we have something coming out. And let's see what is next on our list is that ASPI, that chemical company right here, ASP Isotopes. And that's even down there and looks like it could pull back. And again, they look like they could pull back just they could pop tomorrow just as well as they looked great last night. And then they all dipped today. And we've been seeing that so often, guys. So you got to make sure you're watching for these dip opportunities. We just got to make sure that they want to run. So first thing in the morning, if they're all green and ready to rock and roll, you know it's going to be a pop-up day, at least in the morning. So take advantage of them, lock in those profits, and, of course, do your thing with them. UNH right there pulling back, but that Oscar right here, laptop travel. We were talking about this earlier, and you weren't on, but in the Discord. Doesn't what the heck's his name? Jared Kushner, doesn't he have some kind of ownership in Oscar or have something to do with it? Is he on the board? What the heck is he? Does he have something to do with it? I told Ben that he did. I could have swore, but I said, don't quote me on that. Ask Laptop Travel. He definitely knows the answer. And so I figured I'd ask you tonight. So yeah, I couldn't remember, and but we were talking about it earlier. And I could not remember if that was the case, but I kind of remember something with Jared Kushner or something in this thing. I don't know. You guys know I don't know these things. Laptop Travel knows. So that's why I asked him, and he'll give us the answer, I'm sure, in a few moments. So we'll find out. But here's Oscar right here. It did have earnings. It did pop up on them early this morning, but then it also did come back down a little bit, draw down, and we'll see. I mean, it doesn't look terrible, but again, it doesn't look great. Let's put it that way. So MOH right here is another healthcare that's been way down there, beat down as well. So we'll have to watch for that one to see when it wants to get turned back around. And how about some Nasdaq down a little bit, but not too bad. IMRX looking really good right there, guys. I'd keep an eye on this one. That could be getting set up right there. IMRX, that could be a decent one. And let's see what Chipotle is up to, because that was dipping down. And look how great that setup looks like. So is that a little fake out dip? Because it looks like it wants to rip. So is it going to pop tomorrow? So I would keep whatever it's called. Yeah, Chipotle. I'd keep that on your watch list tomorrow. And let's see what it wants to do. I just gave it a good mark so that I can look at it tomorrow. CBRL, that's our Cracker Barrel. And that was pulling back. And again, setting up right there. Let me see how the setup plays out. I don't know. And again, it could just pop off tomorrow because these things have that trend line, but this looks like it might come back down, draw down a little bit, and probably meet up right around here at the end of February. So we'll see what's going to happen in a week or two with the Cracker Barrel, unless it just pops up off of that trend line right there. And how about Boyle was down? That's your natural gas, still way down there. It had popped up there for like a day. And now, I mean, a couple of days it was up, but then it really popped, and then it's been way down there. So we have to see if that's going to run. And gosh, finally not running today. And that Exxon Mobil was up still again. They kind of look like they're finally getting topped out there. There's Chevron down a little bit, and Oxy right here is down a little bit as well. So you can keep an eye on them guys right there. And that is some oil and gas plays. And let's see what's up with that plug right here. That was dipping a little bit. And that does look like it wants to set up. And again, that question that I keep raising, yesterday it was trying to curl up. Look at that pullback. It could still try to curl up, but it's kind of showing us that they want to pull back now. So we have to kind of go day by day with these and really see how they're setting up. And that's why I'm not kind of jumping the gun and telling you they're exactly going to do something. I'm just telling you what you're keeping an eye on. And now you can see what I've been talking about, because I definitely been mentioning this. And now you can see it kind of playing out what I've been saying here. QuantumScape, little pullback. When's their earnings? They were coming up. Are they tomorrow? And they certainly are tomorrow for QS. That looks like it's going to pull back on earnings, but that's what it just looks like to me. And how about, where am I going? QuantumScape. I meant to do Rocket. I got excited and went to Galt, but I'll talk about Galt in a minute. But there you go. We're at Rocket Companies. I mean, that looks pretty good there, Zach. So there you go. And possibly getting run up. Look at that curl. But again, they've all looked pretty good, and then they pull back. But that one actually is trying to get up here. If it can break the 20 right there, say it gets over 21, it might be pretty close, pretty good to run, and has to close over that 21 area tomorrow, more or less, and it would get probably cruising right there. Lucid down a little bit, but not looking bad in that channel right there, so you can keep an eye on that. Wasn't Rivian? I know that's a Joe Lee's play, Joe Lee's jams, but yeah, that was spiking up there today. I did see Rivian. And how about Rich Tech Robotics go? I mean, that looked really good. And then Ben told me that somebody was like that. Eric, is his name Eric Jackson, right? Oh, I think I just remembered his name somehow. Eric Jackson, I think he said was talking about this, or somebody he actually was talking about some Discord thing or some this thing. Look at that, 41,000, but that's like all one person right there. So you better be careful with that one. But he was pointing that out to me earlier. I had no idea. I was just saying that it had looked good, and I was like, oh wow, kind of dipped down there. And then he was telling me all about it. So yeah, you guys know I don't really know. I don't follow all this stuff that goes on with the news and all, and I don't really care. I can just see what's happening on the charts. And that really is what matters to me, obviously. Of course, some news dictates things. And but yeah, you can see the setups happening, and that's what I base everything off of. So you guys know that I am pure technical here, and that's how I looked at Lulu yesterday. And look at that bad boy. That was a good play right there. And Dell right here. I've been kind of pounding the table, telling you guys this was going to get moving. It's been looking really good. Had a little dip action, but that was a good dip play, and that did get running. So anyway, a couple other ones right there. Your Rocket Zach looking really good right there. We'll have to take a look at it tomorrow. And of course, Lucid right there, just a little bit of pullback, but in that channel. And then Rich Tech Robotics we're talking about. So let's go to Galt, and that's Joseph Levy's Galt. And he is home right now. He had his major surgery yesterday, and I know he is back home. He was giving some updates on his Facebook page. I'm friends with him on there. So I do see that. And I did replied to him, and so yeah, I'm not sure if he's listening right now, Joseph Levy, but I do know he's at home, so that's really good to hear, because that means things went pretty smooth for him, obviously. And Galt, let's see it run for him right here, Galt. So get moving for Joseph Levy. It'll make him feel better as he's recouping there. So we're still thinking of you. Have a speedy recovery now that you had your major big back surgery right there, and hopefully that helps out everything. And we're thinking about you there, Joseph Levy. Just keep us updated, of course, on how you're making out there. I'm sure you're going to have a lot of physical therapy and all that good stuff. I'm sure you'll be playing pool in no time, though. As for some reason, I have a feeling you're going to be like, yeah, well, I need to play pool, so that'll be like physical therapy. And so I'll do that too. And that's how I'd probably be too, because I know how much you enjoy playing pool. And that is good. It's something to look forward to. And you're obviously really good. You're going to the National, so in Vegas, and hopefully you're all good for that too. And that in like 2 months, and we knew you're having a major surgery right before it. So let's hope you're all good to go. And it sounds like it's moving in the right direction if they discharged you early today. So that's a good thing there. So that's our update on Joseph Levy, everybody. Just giving you guys a quick update. And there we are with Joseph Levy. And here we go with our Galt. So yeah, can that get running for him? And I'm telling you, it looks really good. Look at it on that trend line curling up. That actually looks like it's a good one. Could be a good one, even to try to pop up a little bit tomorrow. So keep an eye on that. And fun right here, down a little bit. Just kind of stair-stepping its way up. Nothing real crazy, nothing wild. Has earnings up at the end. Oh, no, is that like next week then? Because that's February 19th, which would be next Thursday right there. So that is when Fun's earnings are. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Going into its earnings, and of course, play is Dave and Buster's, and that was down. Looks like it tried to jump up off of this trend line right there in the after hours. Let's take a better look at it. It doesn't look perfect, but it was kind of bouncing around a little bit. So we'll look at that one and stay on that one right there and see what it wants to do. ARM was looking pretty strong. It did spike up some today, and I'll tell you what, this one could continue to go. So keep an eye on ARM right there. You can see that 2050 meeting up with each other. It does look like it has one of them spike ups. We'll look at it tomorrow. But it does look pretty good right there for ARM. So let me look at that tomorrow and grab right here. It is trying to curl through that MACD. Is it? What the heck? What is that? What's an R? Ratings? What the heck is that? I guess when they have a new ratings, that's what that was. I didn't realize that. I kept seeing these things down there. I didn't click on them. I didn't know what the heck that was. I noticed it earlier too, and throughout the day today. I didn't know what the heck that was. I guess when an analyst gives you an upgrade, they put the ratings there. That's pretty cool. That's a good idea. FinViz, look at you. Holy cow, are these guys on fire or what? Wow, these guys are just absolutely on just nonstop thinking of new ideas. And holy cow, did you ever see a company just keep on coming out with like cooler and cooler things all the time like this? I mean, it's pretty wild, guys. It's I poked the bear, but in a good way. I got them to change the times from 4 a.m. to 8 p.m. and they just went wild with every other change that you could. They really re-examined this thing, and I gave them the idea to do the overnights too. But again, they just went nuts. And you know what's really cool is they they are like, yeah, they give you props for it. Your ideas. They're like, yeah, definitely. And we really appreciate your feedback, and we definitely made changes on that. And there you go. And they're awesome. And holy cow. So that's really cool, that ratings thing. I didn't know what that was earlier. I kept seeing something down there, and I knew it couldn't be the earnings or the dividends, because it like some of them had like a bunch of them, and I just never clicked on it. I kept forgetting to even see what it was, but look at that. It has the ratings on it. That's pretty neat. Anyway, something new. Maybe it was there yesterday. I don't know, but I just noticed it today, to be honest, and I just clicked on it for the first time, and it was accidental, to be completely honest. I just happened to click on it, and that popped up there. So Yeah, that's pretty cool, FinViz. Keep it going. I mean, every idea you guys just keep coming up with crazy good ideas. I like that one. That's pretty cool. I mean, who the heck's giving them all these crazy ideas here? To be honest, and I'm not saying I am. I gave them 2 ideas, but they just went buck wild and went crazy. I mean, everything is so good on it now. It's so crazy. I mean, I'm just completely blown away and impressed. And Trend Spiders, this one I meant to tell Ben. I just noticed that this you can get like the earnings and stuff on the sidekick. So I got to mess around with that as well. And I'm sure, guys, there'll be a Valentine's Day and President's Day codes coming out, I'm sure, for our Discord and for Trend Spider. So if you guys are interested, be sure to check that out. That's for sure. And let's keep on cruising through and see what else we can grab for tomorrow. That's looking good. Oracle today, it did go up there. We had this as a call today. It did pull back at the beginning, but ran up. So it ended up working out pretty well. I did trade Oracle, and that one did work out right there. So there you go with that. And we were playing that in the live trading today. Adobe right here. Let's see. That was kind of, oh, let me get onto there. And that is still way down there, guys. I mean, it is in the dungeon, almost in a black hole. Yeah, look at these ratings. That's what, like, I've seen all these. See how there's a bunch of R's? I had noticed that earlier, but these are all ratings like Jeffries and BMO Capital Markets. And that one's Oppenheimer, and this is Pipe Sandler. When are they going to do the Dougie Fresh Picks ratings on there? Out there, I'll have to sell FinViz. I want my own ratings. I know that these are like major companies that put out press releases. I'm just messing around, but wouldn't that be funny if they gave me my own little ratings thing? I could rate all the stocks. That would be funny. But that would probably mess things up because these are legitimate companies, like I said. Pipe Sandler. Not that I really know any of them. Oppenheimer, I've heard of them. I'm probably, I would say I'd probably be just as credible, if not more credible than all of them. Anyway, here we are with Adobe, and that is what they are. They are the ratings right there in R's, and they tell you all you have to do is look and see if they had a lot of bad ratings. That'll tell you if it's going down. I could only imagine. I wonder how far they go back now that they put them on. Look, they kind of go back pretty. Look, they just like added them, and and you know what's kind of crazy, guys? Look at this. This is something to look at. I'm glad that they just added these things, and they even added them to go back, I guess, as far as the charts. They put them at the beginning. That's pretty wild. Anyway, what I'm looking at is if you start seeing a lot of green ratings right here, you might think that the stock might go up. Look at that thing. And it definitely did. And then when you see a bunch of red ratings over here, you might think that the stock might be going down right there, guys. So just a little observation to keep on FinViz. Now that they just put the ratings, it's kind of easy to see that. And I knew by looking at the red one, that's what would be the case. So I didn't know how far back they went. But yeah, you can see all the green ones are going to do the exact same opposite as the red. So once they start, here's some red. Oh, look at all them red ones, but it went up. Whoa, that was a tricky one. That is a tricky one. In the basement, there, you get a bunch of red ones. I'd probably play that, actually. But let's see. Yeah, I mean, we'll definitely keep an eye on something like that. And this is just Adobe. But anyway, there you go. Something new that FinViz added that I just noticed today. Marvell right here, down a little bit, hitting that resistance. And again, I don't think they get through these resistance, although this one did get through the MACD, but I don't know if it's going to get through that. And then it has the 50 right there. So at least maybe not this week anyway. And then that Abbott Laboratories was looking good. Remember, we were looking at this way down here as it was getting set up out of the basement, like right here in this area. And then it started popping. Look at that, just a magnet right to that 20 right there. Just wanted to show you guys that. And of course, here's that Lulu I had mentioned. And I posted it yesterday in the options, and they were up. I sold it a little too early there, to be honest with you. Sold it this morning, like up here. Where did I sell? Like in here somewhere? Yeah, I think I sold it up in here. And then it still ran up big, but I was still over 50-something%, I think, on the old on my options. I know that. So there you are with the old Lulu calls from yesterday, and I did lock in profits. It still doesn't look bad, to be honest, but I am going to stick to my game plan and lock in those profits. Look at all these red ones, though. That's pretty odd. I don't know. Maybe we can't go by that. It was just an observation. I'll have to keep an eye on it and see how they play out, because it is kind of weird right there with all the different ratings. And how are you, Cadence? How are you doing this evening? And let's see what else is going on with our list and what else is going to be popping. This burn is looking real good. I kept saying that today, and it did pull back there at the end of the day, but then it did start running. It looks like in the after hours. Keep an eye on this. This thing ran up, had a good pullback, and it doesn't look too bad right there for good old burner. So might want to watch it. It was trying to go through the 20. It may too. Look at that curl up right there. I think this looks actually pretty good. I was playing it the other day, and oh, my feed keeps. Is anyone else? Does my feed keep going in and out? Cadence is asking if the feed's going in and out. Is that happening for anybody else? I'm not exactly sure. Is it just her? Please let us know. Let me know if it's mine or if Cadence is having an issue, so that we know. And then that way I had no idea. But no one said anything. Usually laptop travel or Luis Rodriguez would mention something right off the bat, or somebody, but I did not see anything else. But somebody let us know, laptop travel, Luis Rodriguez, Zach, or anybody that's paying attention to the show. Just let us know if it's the feed is going in and out. Because Cadence, it's good on your end, Zach. All right, then Cadence, it might just be on your end then, because Zach said it's good on his end. So try to pop out and pop back in there, Cadence, and maybe it'll work a little better. Or just oh, you're on the YouTube feed, huh? That's really weird. I'm not sure. Zach's on the X feed. Who's on the YouTube? Luis Rodriguez says, Luis, is it okay? And Laptop Travel's on there too. Zach's on the X feed's good. Luis Rodriguez is on the YouTube feed. All right, Cadence. I think it is just your feed there. So X out, X back in, but at least we know this feed's good, and you might have a quick issue. Yeah, I would just X out of the YouTube and pop it back into a new browser or on the X out of the app. However you're watching it, but yeah, that should probably help. It looks like it's pretty good on our end. So perfect. Thank you, Cadence. But at least you give us a heads up, because you just never know with technology. So I appreciate it. And at least you know to X out and all. So there you go. Yeah, if anyone ever sees anything messed up, just throw it up in the feed and let us know. Obviously, completely interactive on here. You guys know that. And we look at everything. And of course, I'll go through the feed and check out Sinez, what is that? Is that Sensei or Sinez something? Says Sonics or something like that. That's what that SE. I always get confused now if that's that Sensei one, but this is SENS. That's what you asked about, right, Zach? Look at that spiking up, still looking good. Have earnings at the end of the month right there, unless it's in March 2nd, beginning of March. And but just be careful. It's hitting that 200, but you're yeah, man, let me look at this a little bit better here, Zach. I would just be careful tomorrow as it hits this 200. It could have a little bit of pullback, and we've just been seeing them bounce off. Your next resistance is obviously like 997. I would say it's before $10. You might get the spike up to 10, but just be careful with that. But again, make sure it can get through that 200 right there. At about, hold on, let me see. 880, say 880 is pretty good. It looked like 884, but right around that 880, make sure you get through that. And like I said, there will be your next stop up there. Like get $10, but I would just make it a little bit under. I always try to. And there you go. So X out, and you came back in. It's fine now. So there you go, Kate. It's perfect. Thank you very much. And perfect. Glad it's working for everybody. And there you go, SENS. So let's keep on cruising right through. And like I said, that burn is looking good. And let's go through the rest of our list right here. See what's happening in this world. ABTC, just a quick look, is still pulling back, and all these Trump companies not looking so great. And BMNR right there. Holy cow. Can you imagine? I mean, oh man, these things are just getting like destroyed all the time, including strategy right here. Look at that thing. I mean, it did run up, it bounced up, but this is what I was talking about, Luis Rodriguez. I didn't think they were going to get through that MACD. I think you still have a roll off and coming back down, and that is going to be a good little pullback happening. So That's what I was kind of seeing with a lot of these things, not just like the crypto ones, but everything else. Now, just start from the beginning. You said cadence. That's pretty funny. And so you're ready. You're about to start the. Now you're about to get into the big caps and Mag 7. If there's any that in particular that you want to look at, just let us know. I'll check them out again. You know that. Only takes a second to look at them. And here we are with our but yeah, that's these crypto ones. And like I said, they're just not looking great. And of course, unless crypto starts looking much better, and we looked at it real quick, but we'll look at it again. Look at Bitcoin back at 68, right under that 69 right there. And let's see. And yeah, I mean that's not giving me the look like it's ready to come back up. And like I've been saying, it could level down here. It could stay in here where this was truly the bottom, but it could level down. Why it has to get set up. So I'll definitely be paying attention. And Ethereum wasn't looking so bad yesterday. I was saying that, but it had a weird look, and there you go. That's where that weird look came, because that's rolling down, and going back into the basement. There's your Ripple doing the same thing. So when they curled up and started moving, they looked really good. And then now they're looking like they want to roll back down. But I do think your bottoms are coming for Solana and the rest of these. So I think we are probably near the bottom. Maybe we see a little more of a dip action on crypto, but we'll be keeping an eye on that as well. And of course, keeping you guys posted. And let's go ahead and just finish up over here. AMPX was pulling back pretty big today. And again, looked good yesterday, pulling back today. That looks like it wants to pull back some more right there. That does not look healthy. So you have to keep an eye. Yeah, that looks like, unless that thing just pops out of nowhere tomorrow, AMPX looks like it could be getting shorted down, to be honest with you. So keep an eye on that. AppLovin was running up some more today, and that thing was cruising there. And then they just had, no, their earnings are tomorrow. It ran in into anticipation of its earnings. I didn't even realize that. It just bounced off the bottom there. I didn't realize that they didn't have their earnings already. I thought they kind of were. AppLovin shares soar after a wave of bullish analyst commentary. And so we'll have to see. Their earnings are coming up tomorrow there for APP. How about LightPath right here? That was down a little bit, bouncing around in that channel. And again, could roll down and go down a little bit more. Lunar, we looked at earlier, that was pulling back pretty good. And we'll see what that wants to do. ASTS is running in the after hours. We did see that right there, but I looked at it over here, as a matter of fact, ASTS, but still doesn't look perfect there, Luis Rodriguez. So we'll check these guys out tomorrow. And again, these dips have been bought up and start moving. So it's been very interesting. Every time the market looks like it wants to continue going up, it pulls back. And then when it looks like it wants to dip down real hard, it goes ripping the next day. And I was kind of saying this earlier in the Discord. It's been able to, it's allowed the stock market to continue to go to all-time highs, but yet pull back enough for it to get set up and then go really crazy again. So that's the interesting thing. And you do see these general pullbacks on it, so you can watch for these opportunities. But that's there, you're going to get that anyway in any kind of market. It can't just go straight up every single day. We know that. So ASTS at 104. Well, that's pretty big right there. I'm not going to lie. What's this say? ASTS over here. And this still has it at 96, but you do have the overnight action going on. So that's what it could have closed at and then jumped up. So there you go with ASTS. And yeah, interesting right there, Luis Rodriguez. So we'll be seeing. And again, I was kind of saying these dips, and when it looks like it wants to pull back, that's when they start popping up again. Like Lunar looks like it wants to dip down real good. And I could see you trying to pop back up tomorrow just because the market's been so volatile, crazy, and weird. That's just what it's been doing. So we'll see you in the morning. You guys know that. It's been kind of tough to read the whole market, but individual ones, it's kind of easy. I mean, look at Lulu there today. That was an easy one from yesterday. Posted it in the Discord at the end of the day. Like I said, that's exactly what I'm going to do each day. And I did one today as well. So we'll see how that one works out tomorrow morning. So, yeah, I would say we can probably nail a whole bunch of them. ASTS hit your target at 105 right there, laptop travel. So there you go. Look at it running up in them after hours. Pretty nice right there. Let's continue rolling right here. Lunar Capricorn, that was down today a little bit. And again, doesn't look too bad. I would say that one could bounce right back up. Reddit looks great, to be honest with you. I just hit it too many times. Hold on. Reddit, let's get back to it because that looks great. Look at that thing rolling up. I mean, I could see Reddit trying to run tomorrow. Some more right there. Yeah, it does look pretty good to try to continue moving. I would say Reddit right there could be another great one. We were looking at it today. And Beyond right here, BYND, we were looking at this the other day. It's a penny stock now at 75 cents. So you can keep an eye on that. It did spike up. That looks like it's going to get rejected off of the MACD too. So that looks like it could be pulling back right there, as a matter of fact. And KXIN, who was consistency spikes? Is that who was looking at that? This one did not spike today. That one took a nice little dip. And let's see, because it was spiking up the other day. I still think you have until the end of the week for it to bounce around before it's actually ready. So that's what I was saying. I think we have a little bit of time on this to time it out, and you could catch some better dip opportunities like today, and it could dip down a little bit more. But I do think KXIN will get set up in the penny land right there. So just keep an eye on that. KVUE right here. Look at this Tylenol maker. Remember we were looking at this thing when it took them huge dips down here? Now look at it. That looks like it could be a play tomorrow and have a little bit of momentum for KVUE. So yeah, that one looking really good right there. So we'll just splash myself in the face with lemon and salt water. That's always nice. Get that in your eyes. That's always beautiful. But yeah, this is pretty beautiful right here. KVUE, and they have earnings coming up next week on the 17th, which would be next Tuesday. So there you go for KVUE. That's a Tylenol maker. Remember, it got beat down when they were saying that it caused autism. Was that what they said? I forget. Was that even there, or was that back here? I forget when the hell that was. That had to have been back here, right? And now it's starting to finally go up. I remember we were watching it for a long time. It was on the list. You guys probably remember better than me, but that is the Tylenol maker right there. And how about Snapchat? That one's beat down, and that looks like it's going to get set back up, guys, or leveled down some more. So I'll be watching to see which way it wants to go. How about XH right here? This is not looking bad. It was up some today right there, running up, but watch this for a little bit of momentum in the penny stock world. So there you go with SRXH, and that could continue to run up there tomorrow. And how about TerraWolf? I know somebody had mentioned it earlier. And let's see what's up with this bad boy, because it was running yesterday and it spiked up there today too in the morning, but it did pull back right there. Let me take a better look at TerraWolf. That's an interesting look as well. It's staying up over there. I could see TerraWolf trying to run up a little bit more right there. I definitely have to look at it in the morning, to be completely honest with you, for WULF. But it's not looking terrible. Like that 20's moving up on it. It could pull back a little bit and then try to bounce up some more. I'll look at that in the morning there. WULF TerraWolf. And what is Wolf Speed up to? That was up there. Look at this bad boy. This one's been beat down pretty good. I know that. We might have to keep an eye on this. Look at this thing. I don't think it's ready just yet. That could be the bottom there on the earnings, though. And we might have to keep Wolf Speed on our list. Look at that beat down. I mean, this thing starts moving. That's got a lot of room. And yeah, I mean, a lot of room right there. They do like a reverse split or something, because that's crazy. If it wasn't trading that high before, I don't know what the heck they did there, but there you go. Didn't they file for bankrupt? I forget what they did, to be completely honest with you. But there you go with them guys, them bad boys, and ABEO. This is Michael Anthony's few that he likes. And another one just trying to get set up. And again, I think it comes down right here off the MACD. It just doesn't look like it's ready just yet. And how about his D local or whatever? D local limited right here. Another one trying to crawl up, and I don't know if it's exactly ready. And of course, he likes UEC uranium, or uranium energy UEC. And that thing is kind of pulling back at the moment as well. That LW was a really good one right there, though. It did hit the resistance and did just get blasted off. We had that super early, beautiful one right there. And his Tiger is down some more. And remember what he said about Coca-Cola? They were going to beat their earnings. Isn't that what he said? And Q4 misses. and 960 million non-cash or something. I don't even know, but they did miss their earnings, and Michael Anthony told us they were going to beat their earnings. So I guess nobody has a crystal ball, as he usually says. So there you go, Michael Anthony. Your Coca-Cola missed on earnings today. Pepsi was up a little bit right there. Does have some crazy resistance above it right now. So we'll see what it wants to do right there. And there you go. It's your Michael Anthony ones. And let's look at our Jolie's jams and rhythm right here. Trying to get back in that rhythm. Look at it right there. Not looking bad. MSOS down a little bit right there. A couple other cannabis ones. Tilray not looking bad. Canopy growth. It's all right. It's hanging out. It does look like it's trying to get rolling right there. And you do like Chronos Group right here, laptop travel, and that looks pretty good as well. So keep an eye on that cannabis sector. It is not looking bad right there. How about your Blink charging? That's getting set up too. That's going to get moving. And our Sezzle, we already know this thing is going to run. It's going to be big. I think tomorrow I might have to add this thing in like the retirement account. I mean, look at the setup right here, guys. We know this thing's just going to get massive. How far do you buy these options out? Because you buy options on this, and now this thing, we got to look at this thing right here. Do I buy them for a day before my birthday at like $70 right there? There's only 150 interest on that. I think we could even go out even further, to be honest with you. But I do think that gets rolling by that point. I don't really like to go out that far. I know Luis Rodriguez loves his leaps, and but yeah, let's look at this bad boy. I mean, not a whole lot of interest on these guys, but I'm telling you, this thing, there's a little bit right there. It's 75. But yeah, I think Sezzle gets sizzling right here. That's for sure. And not a whole lot of crazy interest right there, but I do think it's going to get rolling right there. So definitely keep an eye on that. Let me know what you guys think as well. For good old SEZL, because I do think that looks really good as a setup right there. And let's continue through our Jolie's jams and Sterling right here. That one had been running up, kind of pulling back a little bit there today. Rivian also just kind of bouncing around. It did it. That's right. Rivian ran up this morning, then kind of pulled back and hit that 20 right there. I do remember seeing that this morning. And there you go. And look at that, hitting that 20. And they do have their earnings coming up. And that's in 2 days from now. So what's that, Thursday right there? And so you have Rivian Thursday earnings. So we'll keep an eye on Rivian for its earnings. And how about Symbotic right here up a little bit, but hitting a resistance and could pull back some. And there you go. It's your Jolie's jams. Let's cruise right through our laptop travel list. And then we'll look at our Spy Mag 7, all them guys, and see what's up with our mega caps and who else wants to see anything. Post it up in the stream, and we'll look at all of them guys as well. How about now right here, Cadence? And let's see what that's doing now that your screen is not all jumpy or exiting in and out. What was it doing? The feed kept going in and out on Cadence. Now that it's working, we'll look at now for that. Actually looks really good now. I would say now is the time that it could get out of the basement. And I think now is the time that we need to look at it. That's a good look right there. And I do like that one for NOW. So did you mention that yesterday as well? And it did run up pretty good today, because that's pretty nice right there. You could have some more run up. I could see it getting up into the 115 area if it wanted to. Already moving up in the after hours right there. Not looking bad to me on NOW. Cadence and Wix makes websites right here. It's an Israeli website company. And let's see. They used to have Super Bowl commercials. Did they have a Super Bowl commercial this year? I'm not even sure. They used to. But I don't think anybody really uses Wix or needs it anymore, because now you can just use AI to make everything. But here, let's look at it and see what it's up to. Cadence wants to see, and I'm trying to get a better idea. It ran up this morning, then pulled back a little bit. Let me see what it's up to over here for WIX, and doesn't look perfect. I'd say now looks better right now at the moment to me. This could get curled up. Don't get me wrong. It is touching off of this bottom right here, or the support, I mean. Just it's up 30 cents. I'll look at Wix in the morning. I'm familiar with it, so I'll jot it down right here. I'll definitely check that out in the morning there, Cadence, and we'll see what that's doing. But now is looking pretty good. And OW, so ServiceNow right there. So that's an application company that is looking pretty good. So There you are with them guys. And let's go through our laptop travel list. And I'm trying to figure out what the heck I even wrote down for the first one. I think it's that. It must be a U. I was like, is that a U or a V? I couldn't really tell, but it is a U. I'm not even familiar with this thing, but it's in Luxembourg. AUNA right here. And look at that thing trying to curl up. It was running up. I don't know if that gets moving right at the moment, but it had an interesting look there today. And how about Bragg Gaming Group right here? This is a gambling one. It's always a gamble when you play this. And it is trying to curl up, and I don't know. It just got some resistance. It could run right up there and hit that 219 from 195. Wouldn't be a bad run up for Bragg. Then you guys could all brag about it. But that's what you're looking at. And CLNN right here, just hitting the 20. I don't know. I'd have to look at that tomorrow. That could pull back a little bit. Did have a little run up there. DFSC right here. Let's see, because that one doesn't look too bad. That could continue to run up, and that is DefSec Technologies, Aerospace and Defense right there. Not looking so bad for DFSC. And what the heck did I write here? I have no idea. Is that what I wrote? DOMO, I guess? I guess so. It does look like a laptop travel type one. That actually looks good right there for Domo or Domo or however you say it. And yeah, that's DOMO, and that does not look bad. And EOLS right there, trying to come off that bottom and bounce up. It's just been struggling, and it could have these pop-ups, obviously, but it could pull back. Look at it crawling up. I would look at it tomorrow. Laptop travel, that one could run up right there. And GAMB right here, good old gambling.com, another gambling one right there. Bragg and GAMB. So that actually looks a little bit better than Bragg at the moment, I must say. Let's look at Bragg again. That's GAMB right there. This is BRAG. And yeah, I think GAMB could be a little bit better for the gambling ones at the moment. But if you're really crazy about gambling, you might need help. So here you go with HELP. And that did spike up. You had that on the list yesterday, laptop travel. It did look good. It did its thing today. I don't know if it'll go again tomorrow, but it did exactly what help was going to do. And there you go. Good call on that. As I know that was on the list yesterday. And there you go with some help. So if you need help, there you are with Helios Pharma. I don't know what kind of help they're going to give you. It's a Biotech Canada company, but maybe it'll give you a little bit of help right there. HNST, the good old Honest Company. Is this a tea company? I asked that before. Honest Tea. Is that what this is? I looked before. I couldn't figure it out. Well, I guess if I just clicked on it, I would be able to figure it out real quick, wouldn't I? Let's see. There you go. Honest, no, they have a bath time collection. I was completely off, wasn't I? Yeah, see, I have no idea what any of these companies do. Isn't that amazing? But there you go. This is a kid friendly bath time collection, Honest, and it looks like they got all kinds of kid stuff. I don't think they sell iced tea. How about that? I had no idea. See that? I said that the other day. I asked and nobody answered me, but all I had to do was click on the website on the name and it would tell me exactly what it did. Here you go. Honest, it looks like pretty decent stuff right there. Good old Honest. So I'm not sure. I never used it, to be honest, but there you are. I thought it was literally thought, isn't there an Honest iced tea or something? Honest tea? I don't know. Maybe not. I have no clue. But I thought that was an iced tea company. It's totally not. It did say household and personal products, though. I think iced tea would be under beverages or something, but that should have been my first sign that I wasn't on the right path to knowing what the hell the company did. But guess what? It does look really good right here, to be honest. And there you are with HNST. That's the Honest Company. They make baby products if anyone has any little ones and is looking for some Honest Company products or anything like that. There you go. I mean, they're even running the Toy Story collection right now. So who doesn't love Toy Story? That was one of the best kids movies right there, Pixar. So there you are, everybody. They even have makeup for children. Oh, that's not for children then. But they do have baby clothing and some gifts and kits and some bath and body. So they have all kinds of stuff and some wipes if you need them, Honest wipes. Actually, you know what? Now that I see that, wait, somebody gave these to us before. I think at like a baby shower or something. We did have these things before. I know that for a fact. I know we had these. That's too funny. That is hilarious right there. So yeah, I guess I did know that they made this stuff, but I had no clue. Um, we definitely had Honest baby wipes at one point, and I didn't know what the heck they were, but I know we had them. So yeah, that's interesting right there. How about that? Sometimes you have no idea the products that you're using, and we look at the stock tickers and don't even know that that's that company at all unless you click on it. So I had no clue, to be honest. I thought it was an iced tea company, Michael Anthony. So you saw on Hood has 27 million accounts. And I got to put this up here. He loves this tiger, and I just can't even. I can already tell it's not even going to be a. You're not even going to be able to comprehend whatever he wrote. So I got to read this to you. Doug, I saw in Hood has 27 million accounts. Then I think Tiger has 27 million accounts. That can you check because more people might deposit more in an account at Hood, but still it isn't Hood money. I don't know what your question is. I think you're asking, does Tiger have people with, does it have 27 million accounts? Laptop Travel or Luis Rodriguez? How do you figure that out? I have no idea. I'd have to ask like ChatGPT or something, Michael Anthony. But yeah, I have no clue, but Robinhood got smashed today, Michael Anthony. They got crushed today on their earnings, and it did go down. I didn't see how many accounts they had. I didn't see any of it, to be completely honest, but I don't even know what this Tiger is. You just love Tiger right here. TIGR was pulling back a little bit, and looks like it's going to roll down off the MACD and come back and have to set up again, is what it looks like. But anyway, let's go through and see what the rest of Laptop Travel's list is doing. We went a little off track there with HNST, the good old Honest, and now we know it's for baby products. And like I said, I had the baby wipes at my house at one point. IMNN right here. Let's see, that's not looking too bad right there. Laptop Travel and LFMD. I don't know. Life MD. You had this on the list not too long ago, just kind of bouncing around right there. Nothing too crazy. And of course, that Neuro One Medical Technologies is bouncing around. That does not look bad. We'll see as that gets set up. NISN, as I think what that one is. And that does look like one that you'd have on there. And that's not looking too bad to get up to the 50 right there. RNAC, Cartesian. I don't even know how to say that. I'm not even going to try. What is that? Cartesian Therapeutics or something? And that's just kind of down there. I don't know if that's really ready just yet. Our pay right here, that's at Repay Holdings. That doesn't look too bad right there. It's been kind of bouncing around. We said this last night that it was bouncing around, and kind of just catch the bounce up and make sure you lock in the profits. And Strata Skin Sciences, SSKN right here. That's a big curl up and not looking too bad. Look at that thing. That could get running there tomorrow, guys. SSKN. That could be a good one. And ZYBT right here is a China one. And that one's running up, but looks like it could be pulling back at the moment. So there you go with your Laptop Travel. And yeah, I'd say Sam Playboy is erecting some green candles this week. You are not kidding. They went huge over in China. I was saying that today. I think you were on where you're in Discord. We were talking about it earlier. Announces definitive $122 million transaction with UTG to sell 50% of its China business, form a joint venture, and use at least 50 million of the proceeds to reduce debt. So I guess they're selling to China. I don't know what the heck they're doing. I was just saying, I didn't even know it was legal in China for Playboy to be operating over there. So Playboy shares rockets, lands major deal for its China business. So I guess Xi, whatever his name is all excited about Playboy. He must love Playboy or something, because I did not think Playboy was allowed to be in China. I mean, holy cow, who knew that was legal? But anyway, I guess it is. And so Playboy was some good old green candles erecting right there, Sam. You're not kidding. And I think, was it Izzy playing that today? I forget who. Somebody played this bad boy in our Discord. I'm telling you, we see everything in the Discord. So if you're not in the Discord, you should be in it. And I gave you guys Lulu. Did you play that, Sam? Didn't you play that? That was a nice call. That one went ripping right there. But anyway, let's go ahead and see what our Mag 7 and everything else was doing. That finished down. Your SPY and then your Qs were finishing down. They were pulling back. And I had also said about this during the daytime. I was talking about these flushing down. I said it early in the day. I said they could flush down at the end of the day. And that's exactly what they did right there. So that was interesting. It looks like they bounced up in the after hours right there. So we'll really see how they have to open up in the morning for your Qs. But at the moment, they're hitting that resistance. And I don't know, guys. I'm not so sure that they get rolling right there. You miss Lulu, huh? Damn. And so, yeah, you can see your futures right here somehow are all green, and your Dow's over 50 still. S&P's up a little bit, 0.29%. Nasdaq's up a little bit right there, 0.39, I think that says, and your Russell's even up 0.28. And that Nikkei, that thing's just been running, guys. I don't even know what's going on with that thing. But then here's your VIX right here, and it's in an interesting spot, that's for sure. So let's take a look at it and see what's going on. Your 20 and 50 are like meeting up. That almost looks like one of these dip and rip looks, guys, where it wants to bounce. I'd be careful tomorrow, that's for sure. And so I just wanted to bring that to your guys' attention. And UVXY right here, let's take a look at it and see. When did that change to 1.5? Wasn't that a 2? I don't even remember, but look at it trying to roll off right here, guys. So you better be careful. Look at that thing. UVXY setting up in a pretty good spot to roll off that MACD. You might want to look at this tomorrow, Sam. So look at it closing pretty strong right there. Just letting you know. Two things I've noticed today that I saw happening. And let's look at gold right there. It was pulling back. And again, I didn't think it looked great yet. And I do think it could pull back. And the silver, the same situation right there. So be careful with that. Okay, thank you, Luis Rodriguez, because now I need the translation. Doug, I noticed that Hood has 27 million funded accounts. I believe UP FinTech, which is Tiger, is that what it's called, also claims to have roughly 27 million accounts. Can you verify it? Thank you, Luis Rodriguez. Now that seems like it's English. There you go, Michael Anthony. Where's your AI bot there, Michael Anthony? You need to use that bad boy. So now, Michael Anthony or Luis Rodriguez, just see if your chat GPT will verify that for us. Ask that, give that prompt to verify if that's the answer right there. And yeah, we'll know for Michael Anthony if it has roughly about 27 million accounts like Robinhood. I have no idea, but we'll find out. I'm sure ChatGPT could tell us a lot easier than I could. That's for sure. Who knows if it's accurate, but it'll tell us something. I can't tell you anything. I'll flip a coin and tell you what it what the answer would be. I'd have a better shot. Anyway, here's our silver, and it does look like it's pulling back right there. So let's go through and see what the IWM looks like, because that had been pulling back as well. And again, does not look like it exactly wants to get through the MACD tomorrow. We'll keep a eye on it and see what it wants to do in the morning. Apple right there pulling back some. Does look like it wants to come down a little bit more. We nailed Apple. What was that, last week, or was that? Yeah, today's only Tuesday, right? Last Monday, wasn't it Apple, or Tuesday or something? That was a beauty. It couldn't have been a Monday. It must have been like Tuesday or something. Is that when we nailed Apple? I don't know. We've been on a tear lately with options, I have to say. Just calling these things overnight, wait until the end of the day and just nailing them, Sam. Lulu was a beauty. And you see what I posted today. I'll give you a hint when we get to it. We didn't look at it. Actually, we did, I think, at the very beginning. I think I'll give you a quick hint when we're about to look at it, because we're about to see what it is. But here's Amazon right here. And that was in the basement. And yeah, it looks like it could stay down there, to be completely honest with you. And then your Google right there, not Goo. I might go to Google right there. That was pulling back pretty good. And that looks like it could be dipping down at the moment. Then Kathy Wood just buy a bunch of them, Luis Rodriguez. And there's your Meta right there. That's in, and then she just buy a ton of Hood too, huh? And that's pulling back pretty good down here. And again, I still thought that was like your bottom, and it's still not a bad opportunity, but just pointing out things, I'm pretty sure she did. And so anyway, that was that. And let's see, what else were we looking at here? Weren't we talking about Google Meta right here? Let me see. He said, my concern is that while Hood users might have higher individual deposit amounts, the total Robinhood money, total AUC may significantly differ from Tiger's capital base. Well, Luis Rodriguez, that seems like way better English, or at least comprehension. I mean, I don't comprehend much anyway when I read, but at least I comprehend that somewhat. And so yeah, find out if Tiger has roughly 27 million users. I'm actually curious now, to be honest. And there's Meta pulling back some, and it could still pull back some more, I think. So we'll be watching that one for a little dip down action. Again, every time they look like they want to pull back some more, they run up a little bit. So Microsoft right here had been running up pretty good. Still doesn't look bad right there. And that could be a little like run up, pull back, and now wants to run up some more for Microsoft. So keep an eye on that. That one's been good. NVIDIA had been running up. It's hitting some resistance. So watch for that to try to bounce off of it and come back down a little bit. And of course, Tesla was running, hitting that 20. We'll see if that can get through the MACD. So we'll see what's up with Tesla tomorrow. And let's see, AMC right here. Let's see what it's up to. It's pulled back, but it could roll off that MACD for AMC. I'll have to look at that tomorrow, to be honest. And GameStop right here does look pretty good to roll off that MACD. So keep an eye on GameStop, Laptop Travel, and everybody. It is not looking bad right there. Chewy right here pulled back a little bit, still trying to get set up. But Unity looking pretty good. Look at that bad boy. Unity could continue to run up there tomorrow, guys. So that could be a little momentum play for you. Netflix running there. Who asked about this? Was it Cadence? I forget who asked about it. Janica? Somebody asked about this. Good old Netflix. It's been running up. It's hitting that 20, so be careful tomorrow. It doesn't look bad, though, but it had hit that 20. Could have a little bit of healthy pullback right there. AVGO pulling back a little bit after it got into that channel. That could just pull back to the 20, nothing crazy. MU is pulling back a little bit. That could pull back a little bit more right there. We did say it was pulling back last night. AMD pulling back a little bit as well. So we'll have to see if that one wants to come down. Here's one I might have mentioned today, QCOM. Keep your eye on that because that could be a good one for tomorrow, everybody. Look at that one trying to get out of the basement. Looked pretty strong to me at the end of the day. So there's your hint for QCOM. And how about snow is going up right there, but just be careful. Another one, I don't think it's going through the MACD. Remember yesterday I said these guys will curl up, play the pop up, but I'm not sure they go through the MACD. This is exactly what we were talking about, guys. So this is we were pointing this out before it ever happened. And now you know what I was talking about on all these guys for a day or two before it was going to take place. And PayPal actually looking really good here, guys. I think PayPal could be a possible play right there, to be honest with you. So check that out, even though it's a setup right there. It's a good setup. We'll look at it tomorrow, see exactly what it wants to do. But it could be a decent one, that's for sure. Intel is pulling back there today and hitting that trend line. We'll have to see exactly what that wants to do. But again, another great one right here is good old Dell. And I did mention that setting up. It had been looking good, and we'll have to see if it wants to continue up tomorrow. I kind of like QCOM a little bit better at the end of the day than Dell, but Dell could definitely get moving. And I said if it looks real good in the morning or has a nice dip and still looks great, and I think it's getting over to 200, I might have to jump in some options on that just to give you a heads up as well. And we've been talking about we should have been already in it, and it would have been up 4%, up pretty good for us. But anyway, let's take a look at IBM right here because that bad boy was down as well. And I did skip, did I skip TSM because that was up today? And then Ryan Case, I guess I skipped these SMCI as well. So here you go. And that actually looks pretty good, Ryan, I must say. Look at that 2050. That looks like a little healthy pullback look today. I think SMCI still getting set up right there and looking pretty decent. So that's what I'd have to say about that one. And MU has strong support at C3, 363. Why can't I read that, Luis Rodriguez? So what down? Nah, that's way down there. You're talking about what chart you looking at? Let's see. It's not going to be that one. 363. You're saying down in this area down here. I don't even see anything, to be honest with you. Here you go. This is where you're going to be at 350, 360. I would say you're right there. Yeah, 360. Good Good observation right there. So Sam, check that out. We'll look at it there for MU and Ryan Case. Yeah, SMCI looking pretty good, I must say, right there. Even had a little pullback, but I do think it's a little healthy. 2050 meeting up still over the MACD. Looks like it could curl up. Watch for any little dip action tomorrow, Ryan. But then I think it could get running. So we'll definitely be watching that one. And let me see, I did skip that one completely on the list. And Palantir right here, kind of running up, then pulling back. You were looking at the 1-year chart on MU. So let me see right there. Was that the one I just went to and looked at that? That's that weekly one right there. And I guess I would say that's probably my 1-year chart. I'm not even exactly sure because I only have these ones, and then I have to kind of change it and whatever. Anyway, who cares? It's right around there. We're about the same spot. $3 off isn't anything crazy right there. And yeah, SMCI. But yeah, 1-year chart. I never really look at that. I look at a daily, weekly. Well, you guys see what I look at. You guys, I don't have to explain that to you guys. You guys already know. I do it right here. And yeah, Palantir right here. Well, I'd been running up early. I thought in the morning. Yeah, that's it opened up early. That's right. And then it just pulled back all day, I guess. So I just remembered opening up and being up there. I didn't really look at it today, so it was down. Sophie looks like that's pulling back at the moment as well. So SOFI and again, Mara Riot and all these guys, they're just having a rough time with Bitcoin, so they're all pulling back right there. And even Clean Spark right here down a little bit. And let's see what our strategy is up to because that's down. And we'll see. Like I said, I'm not so sure it gets curled through. I mean, Bitcoin would have to really get cruising right here for strategy to really curl up and go through the MACD and rip. And that just doesn't look like it wants to do it overnight or by tomorrow or by the end of the day. I don't know. It just doesn't have that look to me, which is going to throw it off right there and make it pull back some. But that's what it looks like at the moment for a strategy MSTR. And obviously, we've been talking about Robinhood. It got destroyed in the after hours on its earnings. It's way down right there. And Coinbase right here is down a little bit. That's pulling back. They have earnings coming up as well. So we'll have to see what happens with theirs. I can't imagine. So, guys, I would assume if Robinhood goes down, crypto's way down, I would assume Coinbase might be dipping. I mean, that might be a good assumption right there for Thursday. So, Luis Rodriguez, are they before or after the market? That's what we need to know for Coinbase. Because if they're before, we have to go into it tomorrow afternoon. And if they're after, we can look at it until after, up until the end. But I have a feeling that one's getting put down right there, to be honest with you. Still in the basement after just seeing what Robinhood just did. I'm just going to base it solely off of that in the chart and say that's pulling back. I'd be amazed if Coinbase goes flying with crypto pulling back so big. Bull right here still pulling back. It was looking way better. And maybe that is hitting the resistance. Maybe it's a little healthy pullback. Maybe Bull can buck it and get cruising. It might bounce off a little bit here, but then try to run up. So we'll be watching that one, obviously. That good old space, not so bad right there. It is trying to curl up. It doesn't look too bad. Boeing was down a little bit, but that does look like it's getting set up, guys. Just watch for any dip opportunities there. And DJT just kind of bouncing around down there. Nothing real crazy with that. Nike looking pretty good. I was saying this in the Discord as well. At the end of the day, I would say keep that on your list right there. For Nike, that could be a really good one going into tomorrow. And let's take a look and see what else is going on with McDonald's. That one wasn't looking too bad, I don't think, either. If you want to look at McDonald's, yeah, McDonald's in the after hours, that was actually looking good too. So keep an eye on that one right there. MCD, McDonald's looking pretty good. And Disney right here, wasn't that recouping a little bit there, Luis Rodriguez? DIS right here. If I spell it out right, we might get to it. DIS, Disney. Yeah, that was recouping. I thought so. And that's a good curl up, but hitting all that resistance. Now, it might hit this MACD, come down, Luis Rodriguez, but you're going to stay in this channel right here, which is healthy because then you know it can get set up and run. So that's what Disney looks like at the moment. Not too bad, I must say. And Oxy right there was down. We were talking about these earlier. ExxonMobil was up a little bit, and CVX was down some. So there you go with some of them. And your DXYZ is looking pretty decent right there. It was down, but it doesn't look bad on that setup, although it does look like it's trying to crawl down now. So we'll have to look at it tomorrow. DXYZ right here. Yeah, that has an interesting curl down look all of a sudden. So, yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on that. And again, I'd be keeping an eye on this VIX right here because it does have an interesting look and it could turn the market around. That's what it looks like. And look at it. It's just kind of mixed right there. And that is your Mag 7 big caps, all them guys. Let me see what you guys want to look at. So please let me know. And kind of a choppy, sloppy day. And Hood was down in the after hours, and Lyft was as well. That was the other one. That drove itself right down as well. Good old Lyft. So we'll have to see when that wants to get set back up, and we'll see what Uber's doing. But there's your Lyft in the after hours. Uber pulling back a little bit as well right now. And all the crypto mining racing, we were talking about that. A-Lab right there, that took a big dip as well. ALAB. And let me see what else is going on. We were talking about the women's hockey right there. And the top 10 crypto mining stocks pivoting to AI data centers is, let's go through these bad boys. I do like that Bitfarms. As a matter of fact, I mentioned it the other day in the old small cap show, and this one is looking pretty good to get set up. I was saying, watch for any dips. Applied Digital Corp. I used to trade this. Holy cow, guys. I had this thing so cheap. I mean, I used to trade this in like the $2 range. Could you imagine? I used to have like, holy cow, I used to have like 10,000, 15, 20,000 shares at one point. Can you imagine if I still had that? Holy cow, that would have been insane. Yeah, I used to trade that all the time. I could have just bought that and just went to bed for like 2 years and hibernated or something. I don't know. That thing went nuts right there. And yeah, I used to trade this in like the $2. I remember it all the time. I used to trade it pretty often. Like I said, it was a pretty good one to trade. Anyway, there you go with that. You just never know, I guess. Sometimes BTBT's at Bit Digital, not too bad right there. Almost looks like Bitfarms, does it not? Look at that. Almost exact same setup, huh? And Cypher right here was looking pretty good. That's been running up the last few days. We'll see. Hitting that resistance, I'm not so sure. Remember I said this about CleanSpark. They are pivoting, and that's what might save them. I had mentioned that before. And Coors right here, Coors Scientific, I had no idea that they were. I used to trade Hut all the time. Hut 8. This used to be way cheap too. Holy cow, guys. I could have just held on to like Hut. I mean, I used to trade this one way cheap. I mean, it was way back there. And I know this was like down in the 4s, 5s, 6s all the time. Now you're in the 50s right here. And this didn't even reverse split. This just kind of went up there. So I used to do that one. Iron's one. I had no idea what they even did. That's a capital market. And Riot right here. It'd be smart for him to pivot, that's for sure. And that's what TerraWolf's trying to do right there as well. So there you go, Laptop Travel. Thank you for them. And Wolf right there, we were talking about. And Zach, we were talking about your couple, Rocket and Sen, whatever that one is. Sensonic or something. What the heck is it? SENS, whatever. Sensionic something. And that's not too bad right there, Cadence. And we were talking to you. And let's see. Everybody was good. And let me see what else. ASTS is running in the after hours. That now is looking pretty good. That Cadence had mentioned right here. That looks really good right there. I would keep an eye on that. Right now, that is getting set up. So did I write that down? I thought I did. Anyway, I guess not. I don't know how I did. And then Wix. Oh, I wrote Wix down. I meant to write now down over there, and I forgot to do it. That quick, I forget to do things. But it's amazing I remember these certain things now. I'll tell you what, after doing the show for over 2.5 years, my memory is, or however long I've been doing the show, I've been doing cognitive therapy for 2.5 years. I consider this cognitive therapy still, because it is. And yeah, my memory's starting to come back. My long term's definitely coming back. I know I tell you guys crazy stories all the time. I didn't remember any of this stuff happened in my life. It's kind of crazy. It's almost bizarre. I remember something out of the blue and I'm like, oh yeah, that happened. Like I got hit in the head so hard that I forgot everything, because I did. That's exactly what happened. I literally suffered a brain injury and forgot everything that happened. It was kind of crazy. And now I'm starting to remember stuff. And like I said, it's over 2.5 years of really working on it pretty hard. You guys know. And so, yeah, there is hope, I guess. Even the hardest hits in the head you can recover from, I suppose, because I'm doing a pretty good job, I must say. I'm not perfect. I won't say that by no means. And I have a lot of issues still, but holy cow, a lot better than I was doing, that's for sure. So it's pretty amazing. I look back and I'm like, man, I've made some crazy progress considering what happened to me. And yeah, it's pretty wild. I actually feel a little better trading now, not 100%, but definitely a little bit better, as you guys can see. I think I'm been doing a way better job, and that I just couldn't connect the dots before. Just like everything I wanted to do, I wanted to do the opposite of what seemed to be the right things to do, and seems like now I'm starting to gravitate to actually trying to get that right. So kind of wild, guys, when you suffer a brain injury. I'm telling you, everything changes in your life, and then you have to adapt to a lot of things. But yeah, you guys know the that's why I always love doing the shows, because it's like my cognitive therapy every day, and I appreciate everybody tuning in and enjoying it. I hope you guys learn something. That's why we do it, because I like to teach you guys how to read these stock charts, what to look for, because I won't be around forever. Clearly, with my brain injury, I certainly won't be. So now you guys will have the skill to be able to do this on your own and be able to kick back and not have to go to work every day, hopefully. So I know Sam's on his way right there. If he would have caught Lulu today, Sam probably would have went in and retired. So he's been crushing it. Sam's up huge from since getting into the Discord, like well over 1,000%. It's pretty wild. But anyway, we did have Lulu today. That was a good one right there. And we were talking about Hood. And the translations for Michael Anthony, Coca-Cola was down on disappointing earnings right there. And what could have more upside? I mean, now the whole market, are you asking? I'm not exactly sure what you're asking there, Michael Anthony, but MU has strong support. We were talking about that SMCI, Ryan, and we were saying that's not looking bad. And Coinbase earnings are after the market closes on Thursday. So that's very interesting. Thank you, Luis Rodriguez, for that info, because it's something good to know. Because I think we might be able to. I think this thing is kind of bouncing up right here in the next day or so it can come down on earnings. Because of what we just saw happen to Robinhood, I think you're about to see happen even bigger to Coinbase. Now, again, just a lotto play right there. But look at Raw. I meant to do it in here. Robinhood right here. And then look at that thing in the after hour. So all you had to do is go in at the very end of the day and short this down, and you would have been perfect. I almost think we're going to be able to do that with Coinbase coming up on, what did you say, Thursday at the close. So on Thursday, and then Friday, when it opens up, it should be down pretty good. And then there you go for your put. So we'll be looking at it, that's for sure. So thank you, Luis Rodriguez. And again, we have 2 days to take a look at it, see what we want to do with it, and reevaluate it going into it. But I have a feeling that could be a good opportunity right there. So you know that we're always looking for the opportunities, and I got to write it down. Coinbase earnings coming up Thursday. That way I remember, because we are definitely going to be checking that out. Like I said, based off of Hood and the chart right here, that's what it looks like it wants to do. Could be an easy put down. And obviously, we'll be checking it out. That's for sure. Memory stocks will continue to see a rise, like MU and all them guys. I agree. SMCI and all them. And if coin gets slaughtered, I would buy the dip. Otherwise, wouldn't even consider touching it here. And I completely agree, Laptop Travel. I do think they could get slaughtered. I do think it could be. And this is the opportunity right here, Laptop Travel. To be completely honest with you, going into its earnings Thursday, we'll look at it. I'll tell you guys what I think, and maybe because we might just, even if you buy one little lotto play, I mean, you don't even have to get crazy. It's at 160 going into tomorrow. So if you're going to do a put, you're going this way. It's at 162.50. You could even do 162.50s right there. And yeah, that would have to be, once their earnings, we said it has to be by Friday. So yeah, you could do it for this week right here. And they're going to be a little pricey, I bet it looks like. But I'm telling you, if they hit, it'll be a beauty. That's for sure. It will be kind of a lotto, a little gamble. We'll base it off the charts and everything. But I do think that could be a great opportunity, everybody. And obviously, we'll be checking that out. And let's see. Oh, crap. I meant to do all that today. Thank you, Luis Rodriguez. I literally meant to do all that information and put it up. Real. Yeah, we'll do that. I'll do that. My bad. I meant to put that up today. I've been like super busy. I don't know why, but it's just been so busy. And I don't know why the days go. I'm telling you, it's like 4 o'clock in the afternoon before you even like blink each day. It's kind of wild. So yeah, I'll definitely get that. I meant to do it today and have all that together. So we'll get to that as well for sure. And let's see what else is going on over here in the market. Anybody else taking a look at anything? Let me see. Let me see. What is trending over here on good old stock twits? Let me take a look and see what's trending over there real quick. Hold on. Let me take a look. Obviously, Hood and Lyft are because they're way down, and I'm not sure what is NVAX. I have a feeling we've looked at. Is that like Novavax? That's that. Oh no, that's not what I was thinking about. But I know we've looked at this. That doesn't look too bad right there for whatever reason. UPST came down in the earnings as well, pretty good. And MAT, good old Matt was down. It says Matt's on the floor right here. Look at that. Yeah, Matt went down on the floor right there on its earnings. And what did Shopify do right here? Is that what SHOP is doing? I'm not sure. Yeah, Shopify. That's actually bouncing up right there. Not too bad. And Ford was up a little bit. They had their earnings. I'm not sure exactly what Ford did, to be honest with you, but they did have their earnings. And it was just, it doesn't look too bad to get set up. A Lab down and UPB. I'm not sure what that is either, but let's take a look at it. And that's up in the after hours. And it doesn't look like they even have earnings, but that's a biotech company up. They must have had news right there. They certainly did. So there you go at UPB. You can keep an eye on Upstream Bio because it's going upstream right now at the moment. Let's see what the news was over here today. Asian stocks rise before jobs data and gold gains. And the stocks mixed, but world index hits record high. The treasury yields fall, and why an S&P 500 still can't manage to close above 7,000. Why it can't, and the stock futures tick higher as traders await delayed January jobs report, and the financial stocks face AI pressure. And then Nasdaq slips right there, everybody. So that is what the market looks like. And let's see real quick. Oh, that's what I want to look at. Groups. This is pretty cool. 1 day performance of your utilities, real estate, and basic materials are up right there. Your 1 week, your real estate, industrials, and energy. So maybe we should be looking at these real estate ones, huh? Because they're way up there. And obviously, energy's been running for the last month, but some utilities ones right here, you can click on it right there. How cool is that? And it gives it to you alphabetically. But I'm going to do it like this. And hold on. What do I want to do here? Oh, I want to do it like not that, not that. Let's do not that. What the heck am I even looking for? I don't even know what the heck I'm looking for. Market cap there. That's what I wanted to look for, just to see what the market, like, break them down to bigger market caps. Anyway, let's see right here. And these are like your utility ones, which have been up for the most part this week, it says. So let's just cruise through and see what they look like real quick. And I'm not seeing anything. Waves up a little bit. It was waving goodbye already. Look at this VGAS way down right there. So some of these actually all the way down, they could be getting set up. I might have to run through a bunch of these sectors right here and do that. I never really clicked on them right there and pulled up the group and actually made it pop up like that. That's pretty cool. So I'm definitely going to have to mess around with that and see what I'm going to like to set the scanner to so I can get the best ones. Look at that LRHC way down, UK right there. And yeah, kind of interesting wheeler way in the basement. That looks like it could be setting up. Didn't that recently reverse split right here? Yeah, look at that thing, guys. That could be a good one right there. WHLR. Let's look at that. I'm going to just add it right to the penny stock one, even though it's not really a penny stock, but technically I guess it would be. And that does not look bad right there. That's for sure. And that is that wheeler. Let's look and see what else. PW right there. Power. Is that power right? Yeah, that's looking pretty good too. Look at that bad boy. And GIPR. ALBT looking pretty good. That Avalon Global Care. I almost said fluorine again. I always say that all the time. So let me see. GBR right here. Yeah, some of these look really good. So yeah, we might have to pay attention to that little thing right there. and see when it pops up and the different groups, what looks good. We might be able to catch some good setups on that as well. So just another thing that caught my eye the other day. I think I had mentioned it, but we are looking pretty good down there. That's for sure. 3-day weekend. We're going away. That's for sure. And there you are, Laptop Travel. It is a 3-day weekend. President's Day. Remember, the market will be closed next Monday for President's Day. And it's Valentine's Day weekend, too. So Valentine's Day on Saturday, which, you know, the restaurants are going to be absolutely packed. You already know that right now. And, but yeah, that'll happen. And you'll have a limited menu, of course. But yeah, then Saturday is Valentine's Day, and then of course you have President's Day weekend on top of it. So it's a double holiday weekend, I would say. So yeah, if you're going to the ski mountain, like to the mountain to go skiing, they may now you with 2 holidays at the same time. They now you with holiday weekend prices, which are ridiculous. I mean, the mountains are so crazy. I almost am kind of glad I can't even go anymore because it costs you an arm and a leg and like the title to your house, the deed to your house, just to hit the mountain for a day. It's wild, guys. I mean, holy cow, it's like a couple $100 for a lift ticket per day, per person. It's insane. And yeah, I'm glad I used to ride nonstop and get cheap ass lift tickets all the time because holy cow, it's kind of crazy how expensive they are. But anyway, Laptop Travel just booked a trip. In addition to Singapore and a few other countries, you're going to try out the demo of Robotaxi in Singapore. There you go, Laptop Travel. Take video and send it to us. How about that? That would be pretty cool. And so, yeah, you're always traveling, Laptop Travel. That's why you're Laptop Travel. That's for sure. So there you are. And Matt may open up at 15. You just said, what is Matt? I mentioned it was trending, right? MAT. Oh, yeah, look at that thing. That's taking a nice dip there on earnings. So maybe big dip right there, Michael Anthony. Let me see what else. So, yeah, we'll do that reel. I forgot all about it. I meant to do that today. I'm telling you, I need a 3-day weekend, actually. It'll be really nice. I think I'm going to rest. That'll be good. And so, yeah, there you go. And let's see, anything else happening over here? I think we kind of covered everything on our Tuesday evening. And again, the market, it doesn't look perfect. I would say be careful if it dips tomorrow. We were going over the VIX and everything, the UVXY and all that good stuff. And it's not looking too bad right there for that UVXY. And I do like QCOM right there. There's a couple other ones that look good. Reddit right here looking pretty good. Nike was looking pretty good as well. And Dell looking pretty good too. McDonald's not looking bad right there to try to run up. I did say Nike already. And your Rocket right there, Zach, not looking bad. ARM was kind of strong. The Tylenol maker right here was looking pretty good as well. You can keep an eye on that. Unity running up, IMRX setting up right here, looking pretty good to run soon. And don't forget that Sezzle and Galt right there, looking pretty good. And of course, was in a cadence that I asked about now. That looks good right now. And SMCI not looking too bad right there either. And PayPal's trying to set up too. And then we had Wheeler we just saw. So some good runs right there. Let me run the scanner right here and see what the heck it even says. I don't even know. Let me see if anything pops up. VSTS right there. Vestas, that's running up. I don't know. It could be a little momentum play. Laptop Travel. Watch that in the morning. VSTS right there. HSTM, that's going to get set up. You can see it right there. Let's see if anyone had any recent FDA approval. Guild did. That was just running up, that Guild Sciences. It's pulling back now. And let's see what's going on over here. All kinds of stuff over here, huh? TRMB, that Trimble, not looking too bad. Let me just cruise right down this real quick. CF Industries. Now that looks pretty good too. Now that looks really good. I might have to jot that one down. INVH. That could be a good little momentum play. I got to check that out on the old FinViz over here. Hold on. What is that? INVH. Let me look at that. Invitation. What did we just talk about? Resident. What the heck is it called? Hold on. I forget what it's called. What the heck are they called? That real estate. That's what they call that sector. Real estate. Weren't we just talking about that? It says it right here. I'm an idiot. Look at that thing right there, guys. That is not looking bad. That INVH as it popped up on the scanner right there. And now you can see when you do them all in sync and you can see things like that, it's kind of interesting. So yeah, Gen right there, not too bad. That looks good too. SBAC. Lowe's not too bad. Let's look at Lowe's and Home Depot. I forgot to add them to the list. They were looking pretty good today. Home Depot was up and Lowe's was up. I totally forgot to add them. They were both looking really good too. So watch both of them. Glad that I just saw that right there because they could continue up there tomorrow. Here's that CEG, is that Constellation Energy. All right there. Excelon Corp, not sure what they do. There's that Solvetum and nice. So I mean, a lot of good ones. If you guys, there's Garmin. Remember we were looking at this thing recently, and it was looking pretty good right there. GRMN, and look at it. It has run up there. Look at that thing. Yeah, that looked pretty good, Garmin. And let's see what else. SW Smurfit West Rock. What the hell is that? Did they walk around in like blue outfits and white hats on in that company? I have no idea. MAAA right there, not too bad. And ROST, some of these as they get down don't look as good, but there's your Home Depot looking pretty good right there. Hey, look at that Paramount. Remember we were saying that the other day? It was starting to get that kind of good look. And the scanner agrees with me. Look at that. That is looking pretty good. Netflix started to run up. We didn't look at Warner Brothers right here. Let's take a quick look. Whoa, what the heck did I type in? But Warner Brothers right here, not looking so bad either. So, Warner Brothers. Whoa, guys. Warner Brothers might be on the list for tomorrow too. That looks good there. And yeah, watching QCOM Dell MU tomorrow. Thank you all. Tune in for the night. 3 a.m. comes awfully early these days. You're not kidding, Sam. And definitely watching them. You definitely like that. And I did like your post today there, Izzy. I was looking at them. And then you post the old riddle in there too, Izzy. I think you did post that riddle, and that was a pretty easy one. Someone else I saw posted a riddle today that was pretty easy. At least if you just read them, they usually tell you the answer like inside. And again, I don't have the best comprehension for reading, so I actually enjoy doing them now because it's kind of a challenge. And I remember doing all the IQ tests, and someone mentioned IQ tests today. That's why I said, what IQ test? But I had to do so many IQ tests after I got hit in the head, and I'm telling you, I did so bad on these things, guys. It was kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie. I should go and take another one because I probably would score way better. I mean, it was pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, it's I like to do them kind of things just to keep my brain working as well. And yeah, I couldn't figure all them out, but now I'm starting to remember. And I used to be really good at them, obviously, like really on point with stuff like that. And just kind of know all them different like riddles and things like that, them hard things to know. And it's like I don't remember any of it, to be honest with you. It's like completely gone. So yeah, today it felt nice to read something and be like, yeah, it's so easy. It's right there. It was the first time in over like 2.5 years that something actually felt right to me when I was reading it. And I'm like, maybe I'm starting to read a little better now because I've been practicing that. My wife in the summer, she's going to work with me. She's a special ed teacher, and she's already got a whole program that she's going to make me do in the summertime to help me get my reading comprehension back. That's, guys, it's that bad. I'm not going to lie. I don't just say it because it's not true. I'm telling you, it's like I got hit in the head that hard. I literally don't have reading comprehension. I'm like retarded. It's so crazy. Not that I'm retarded, but I just feel that way sometimes because I don't understand everything that I used to understand. So it's kind of weird, but I did understand that riddle there, Izzy, today. So I caught it right off the bat, and had like 4 people's names and somebody's brother or something. I forget. You can post it up. I'll retweet it out if you want. And then I saw another one where like it was talking about this couple going to the beach and they had 5 sons, 7 daughters, whatever. They just give you all these crazy numbers. Whenever they start piling these numbers in, and I've always known this about word, it's only a word problem. It's a riddle word problem, same thing. Whenever they start piling numbers in, don't look at the numbers. Just X all the numbers out of the problem and then read the problem again. And sometimes you'll just see the answer. The numbers are obviously there to trick you. So obviously with my stupid brain, and I don't like numbers. Well, I do like numbers, but it's hard for me. You guys know. I don't got to explain to you. But so I just get rid of like the numbers completely, just skip over it. And then if you just read the sentence, it tells you the answer like immediately. It's kind of weird. But just try that when some of them riddles right there are like word problems. And that's what I kind of used to do, I guess. Growing up, I would just like forget about any of the math problem, just read the problem, figure out what it was really asking you, and then attack if there's really any math. Sometimes there's not even any math to do. You just kind of like answer the stupid riddle. So anyway, just something funny. And yeah, Izzy was posting some stuff in the old in the Discord today. We have a good time in that Discord. It's a lot of fun. It's very active. I'm telling you, it's crazy. You guys are awesome. Ross, Progressive G, Sam's in there all day. Luis Rodriguez, Laptop. So many people. I'm telling you, it's a lot of fun. But not only is it fun, we have a good time. We now almost everything. I mean, I'm telling you everything. And Warner Brothers right there, Sam. We're going to have to add that to our list. And you like that short coin play for Friday? I'm thinking the same thing right there. That's for sure. So we're definitely going to be looking at that. Nasdaq and all them are up right now. It's kind of interesting. And it has and will always be a stock pickers market. Yeah, ER game for sure. I agree. And now I'm confused about ERs, but getting a little bit better just looking at the charts on them. Futures are green and pretty interesting right there. Let me see. You were talking right here. What were you guys saying? Just booked that trip. Grab, that's the Uber, and Toyota backing will be implementing robotaxi with plans to expand in Southeast Asia. I know you've talked about that a few times, Laptop Travel, and you feel like we're headed for a correction. Did you read your note about the dip in October of 1987? Was that in your newest newsletter, Laptop Travel? Because I didn't get a chance to read the whole thing, so I just kind of clicked on it, and then Dougie got me distracted, so I had to go back and look at that one. So I didn't see that, if that's where it was. Not sure if that's where you're saying, but if you don't have Laptop Travel's newsletter, he posts some great newsletters, so you can check that out as well. I know I posted the link. I reposted his link the other day, and he said, now imagine a 1987 style crash, minus 22.6%. That would translate to roughly 11,331 points gone in a day. And you'd wake up with the Dow around 38,000. How crazy could that be? Guys, it could happen at any moment. I mean, the market does look pretty strong. I'm not going to lie. Look at that Warner Brothers looking really strong. And the SPY and all look really strong. But at the same time, guys, this thing takes a big old dip and comes down here like that. There's really not a whole lot to stop it except for down here at like 650. So it'll go and drop like $40 immediately, like in the blink of an eye. Now, again, I don't really look at the Dow too much, but we can. And yeah, you can see right here, it is, I mean, it's not overextended or anything. It's not real crazy. It looks like it could continue its way up, to be honest. But yeah, if it came down, I mean, you'd be coming down all the way down here if it really broke through your 2050 and really got some momentum on its way down. You'd be down to like 45 real quick. You'd wipe off like 5,000 points in a heartbeat, and then you would start to get the sell-off happening. So it's interesting. Not saying it's exactly going to happen, but again, that's why I'm keeping an eye on the UVXY, the VIX, and everything else this evening, because they have an interesting look. Not saying that we're going to see a huge dip, but you could see it red tomorrow right there. So just something to keep an eye on. And what did you say? You kept your powder dry and bought the dips, and now back then probably in 1987, and now try to survive on an 11,000 point drop. Yeah, you get crushed probably. I mean, if you have cash on hand, you do really well, that's for sure. But that is a correction, and I'm not saying we're going to get that big of a correction, but I do think we could see a little pullback still. I'm not convinced that it's completely ready to roll. So let's put it that way. Futures are green, and it has a we were talking about the stock pickers and all that stuff. And MS in Florida right there, agree with Laptop Travel. 90% cash right now, doing your Dow ETFs for some swings and learning about the gold, silver for now. Just on the sidelines waiting for the event. I'm telling you, I have my red flag still up. I've been trading every day, still getting into them. But you guys know what we're getting into, and it's very selective, and some of them could still buck the trend, maybe not. obviously, if you see a pullback like that one day, everything's going to come back down. But yeah, you could see a good swing. And again, I'm not convinced like the Qs, the SPY, and everything else. You could see them dipping down. You could see them pulling back tomorrow, as a matter of fact. So I am watching that. That's for sure. And Laptop Travel stepped away from silver and gold due to the swings, watching and waiting for an entry. And it is very volatile right here. And I do think you're going to see some pullbacks right here. I did kind of say that the last few days. I know it popped up yesterday. It looked really good. I think that the last two Fridays yesterday, false readings right there. I wasn't convinced, and I do think you see a little pullback. So we'll definitely have to look at that. Oh, did you see Luis Rodriguez? I read that. Where did you see that at today? Sam Darnold. This is crazy, guys. I actually saw that they were saying and next year's Super Bowl, is it not in LA? Who was talking about it? Somebody was talking about it. Was it like, I don't even know, like a Peyton Manning? I don't know who the hell was talking about. Somebody was saying this. I saw this though. Holy cow, guys. This is the craziest thing ever. So Sam Darnold, right? He made $178,000 for winning the Super Bowl, right? And he had to pay $249,000 to California in taxes for being there 7 days. So he lost $71,000 for winning the Super Bowl because it was in California. How insane is that, guys? Is that not the craziest? He just lost money. I'm sure that the team's going to pick up the tab. The Seahawks are going to pick up the tab on that. I'd have to imagine they can pick up the tab and reimburse them. But how insane, guys, is that? So because he was there for 7 days, he got taxed over $250,000. He lost money. How insane is that, guys? Is that not the craziest thing? I saw someone talking about that today, and they were saying, they're like, yo, they just can't. They have to not have the Super Bowl in LA anymore. They can't have it in California ever again until they change that law. It's not fair. They're 100%. What quarterback is going to go and want to do that? That's insanity, guys. That's so crazy, guys. And that's not just him. That's the whole team. He just happened to make that much. And yeah, that's everybody on the team, guys. So holy cow, how crazy is that? So yeah, I guess the guys that didn't make as much are probably like really happy. But yeah, if you were making any kind of money, and usually I didn't think they got paid for postseason, but he may have it in his contract, obviously, as an incentive. So maybe only the guys that have incentives are getting paid. And yeah, they lost money. He owes money. He owes money. How crazy is that, guys? That's insanity. So I did see that. Thanks for bringing that up, Luis Rodriguez. I totally forgot about something else I'll talk about real quick before we hop off. And let me get her name right, because I don't even want to mess this up. But you guys are probably going to know who I'm going to talk about. The Nancy Guthrie, is that how you say her last name? I don't know. I hope he's messing around with the Ring camera, and it is really, really bizarre, guys. And I think it has to be somebody that's close to him. I mean, there's no way that's not somebody that they know. And I think like people online are saying it's like a son-in-law to her or something, like one of their, like, I don't know who it is, to be honest. I'm just telling you what I'm seeing online and everywhere else. But you have to follow this. Person's detained, huh? Holy cow. And they're ready to raid the property? Oh, wow. Breaking news on that. Now that we're talking about it, I didn't even know. Person has been detained for the questioning in connection with Nancy Guthrie's abduction hours after authorities released a doorbell camera footage from the scene. So wow, I guess they got somebody. So we'll have to see what that's all about right there. But yeah, that is crazy. If you didn't see the video on that guy, watch that. That's insanity right there. I mean, that's kind of scary. But again, and if it's not somebody that they know, whether they know him or not, it's scary. But it looks like it would be an inside person. To be honest with you, from what I'm looking at, and that's just my opinion. I'm not a police officer. I'm just telling you what I see and what I think. And but yeah, that's really, really bizarre right there and crazy stuff. Hopefully she's okay. I mean, that's a terrible story. Can you imagine just putting yourself in their shoes and having like your mother kidnapped? That's wild, guys. So crazy stuff. So hopefully they find her. Apparently the big news is that they they got somebody in custody and they're going to go raid the property. I guess they need a search warrant. You still need a search warrant, I guess. And so I'm sure a judge is easily to find. Sign that off real quick. On the FBI, I don't know. Does the FBI? I guess the FBI does need a search warrant if they really want to prosecute the person. They're going to need one, because if not, he'll walk free when they go to see that jury. So yeah, I guess they're probably just waiting on the judge to sign the search warrant so that they can go into the property right there. That's what I'm imagining. So anyway, I don't know. I don't even know what state it's in. Who knows? Each state's a little bit different. You saw it on like one of the sports shows, like Boomer Esiason. Yeah, exactly. That's who I saw somebody talking about it, Luis Rodriguez. So we probably saw the same clip. And about the football and Sam Darnold. Yeah, the poor guy, he won the Super Bowl. He lost $71,000 because they were playing in California and he was there for longer than 7 days. He got charged $249,000 in taxes. He only made $178,000 for winning the game. How crazy is that, guys? Talk about ass backwards. I would say California's in a different planet. Yeah, it's like no other planet. Yeah, it's like a different galaxy over there, guys. Holy cow. What is going? So yeah, they can't have a Super Bowl there. They can't do it. I mean, it's going to be crazy. You can't jeopardize the quarterbacks making money and owing the state more money. I mean, what are they going to do? Like, does Roger Goodell? Roger Goodell should be on the hook for that money, to be honest with you, for being such a retard and putting it in California, knowing that they should have that they have that law. He should be well aware of all that stuff ahead of time. So yeah, if he's not, then yeah, it just shows you another reason that guy should be gone. There's just too many reasons he should be gone. But anyway, there you go. And hopefully they find Nancy Guthrie. I don't know if I'm saying her last name correctly, but I hope I do. And I am. And yeah, hopefully she's all safe and everything. That's a crazy story, guys. I mean, I can't imagine that happening and feel bad for the family. Obviously, you don't, even if you don't like whatever she does. Isn't she on like a TV show? I don't even know who she is. Isn't she on like a Good Morning America? I'm not even sure. But anyway, even if you don't like the show, you have to be thinking about her family and praying for them. That's a really crazy story right there. So anyway, hopefully they find her and everything's good there. And that's what we have in the market for today, guys. So I would say that's a pretty fun market review right there. We'll see how it opens up in the morning. Obviously, we'll be on at 7 a.m. It's going to be an interesting one. I kind of feel like it's going to pull back. Every time I say that, it goes up. Every time I say it's going to go popping, it pulls back. But again, we can pick these individual ones like a QCOM right here and some other ones like a Lulu today and some other ones like that, and know that they're going to run. So sometimes that's a little bit easier than picking the entire market, obviously. But it is, we will dissect it in the morning, know what's going to happen and what our opportunities are. Michael Anthony, what are you talking about dropping 5,000 points for what reason? Just for a little correction here, and we're just talking about because the charts and everything, I still have my red flag out and things just look a little odd to me, and that's all we're talking about, hypothetical and possible. And I don't think it's going to pull back that much, to be honest with you, but I do think we could see a little bit of red here, and obviously reevaluating it and evaluating it in the morning. So you guys tune in at 7 a.m. Be sure to like the show, follow along on X, YouTube, Instagram, all that good stuff. And all information presented here is for educational and informational purpose only, not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence. And Luis Rodriguez and Michael Anthony, of course, MS in Florida, 79. And Sam, you have a good night. And Robin hanging out and everybody else like Doge Mom and 9. And I think there were some other people hanging out like Cadence and Zach and a bunch of other people there. So I greatly appreciate it. Whether you chime in or not, it doesn't matter. But I do appreciate you guys always tuning in and hanging out and being a part of the show and everything else. And it was Ryan Case there. He was asking about SMCI. So you enjoy your night there, Ryan, as well. Thanks for tuning in and everybody else. And so, yeah, thanks for hanging out this evening. Hang out tomorrow morning. We'll pick out what's going to be our best opportunities. And then, we'll be destroying it in the Discord. And guys, we'll probably have, I'm sure we're going to have some Discord promos coming up with the big holiday weekend. You got Valentine's Day and then President's Day. So we should have like two. We could probably offer 2 of them this weekend for you guys. So I'll talk to Red about that, and we'll make sure that you guys are filled in. And again, I'll go back and look. I'm sure Nader probably already hit me up and I didn't notice. So I'll look right now. and see if he sent me a code or anything for the old Trend Spider, if anybody's interested in that, because I'm telling you, it is great. Along with FinViz is awesome. You guys see what I do and what I use, and that is what we cover. So what did you say? Lots of earnings after? Oh, we covered all that before you got on the show there, Michael Anthony. We nailed all them, and I was covering them in Discord as well. But we did cover all them bad boys and did all that there. So I think we covered the entire market, Michael Anthony and everybody else. So I will see you guys at 7 a.m. You guys enjoy your night. Have a good night, everybody, and I will see you guys in the morning.